What's up? My light is making noise. Hear that? Weird. Anyways, I had a lot more sleep from yesterday. It really, really helps get me set up to go. Um, yeah, like I know that if I wake up and I'm not feeling super terrible, then like the start of my day, however that day is, regardless of anything else, at least I know I can build it up to have better hopes for the day being better. Uh, I know for anyone that's watching or listening to this, it probably does not make sense to you to think that way, but I do. I think of a lot of things before I try to commit or do stuff. I try to. It doesn't always happen. But for the majority of things, like making a decision on something, I'll think like 20 steps ahead. And like, do I really need this? Or what do I need it for? What am I going to use it for? How long am I going to use it? That's if I'm buying something. If it's something at home, a decision to be made, it's normally fairly quick because there's not many decisions you need to really make that take too much time. I mean, there are, but not too many. For me, being a simplistic person, not having too much complication in my life, um, it's all pretty much straightforward. You try to come to work, you do as much as you can, um, go home, do the family thing. I know it sounds, I'm kind of grouping it, but it is what it is. You do the family thing. You hopefully have your own personal time. Uh, you possibly try to find that time for you to discover who you are. Like for me, if you're not like in a steady position, like I don't know, having a house, having all the necessity things set up, and then you have the job, you have all that stuff, and you're just coasting. That you're just right there. You're not having to borrow for money to pay bills and stuff. Not judging if you do or don't, but I'm just saying, like, if you're at that point where you don't have to do it, um, then you can focus on the things that possibly make you happy or things that you never knew made you happy. Like me, I like uh, 3D printing. I've discovered that I liked it a long time ago. It's a thing you could never really get a hold of because how much it cost to buy it and having to build it and all that stuff. But then as time progressed and innovation have gotten a lot better, you're able to buy a 3D printer that's pretty much pre-built out of the package. Now, I mean, there are certain things, if you want to pay more, you could get that done for you. Um, but there's like certain things like a leveling plate, an automatic leveler, and all that stuff that wasn't there before. But that's stuff there that you could pretty much just get started with. The only science and issues you have is just dimensions, and that's all trial and error. So, like, if you look at it like that, for me, in my perspective, jumping into something like that, not knowing anything, and then realizing, well, maybe it's cool that I waited so long because for me, at least, it would have been more expensive anyways. Uh, but just the technology then and the advancement in the field wasn't progressed like it is now. So of course, it was all bare bones. It was all pretty much, you had to build it, you had to know all this stuff, and then after all those guys went to tinkering and building their own renditions and people just selling their own 3D printers, like it just became a thing where now it's just, full blown, and pretty soon it'll be pretty much out of the box for everyone universally, and it'll be so much simpler that we're going to be able to, print things. That's just one thing. That's just one thing I've learned, maybe out of, I don't know, a really small time frame, like 3 months or so, of just having it and tinkering it with it and watching videos and learning as much as I can. I like that. I like having that opportunity to be able to find the things that I might enjoy or like. Because like I said yesterday, like, when your kids are out of the house, you've got to pretty much either know who you are, discover who you are, or go down that path where it's just that one thing, and maybe it's leads to something better for you in your life, or maybe it just makes you happy, and that's all that's all you need. But finding that and going down that path or could be a long road for some. It's like learning, like say higher math, like that could just be a long discussion, a long thought process, a long thing to actually think about, and that would hurt my head. But that could be something you like. But for me, it's a lot of things. I like basketball, even though I can't physically do everything. But there's so much media out there now. There's so much information that even if I was wrong back then, things might have changed now. And there's a lot of new techniques and a lot of things to work on just in basketball to be a better basketball player. And I don't have to like be, physically fit to go play an NBA game, but it really will help me just in general just become a lot better than what I am right now. I certainly want to feel, at least 75% to go even play a 5-minute basketball game with my kids. That would be super awesome. I'm not at that point yet, but if I'm able to get to that point, hopefully my body will allow me to do the things my brain tells me to do. It gets a little bit harder after you get older, especially when you haven't been able to do it for a very, very long time. Yeah, but that's cool. I think that's the challenge. That even if I'm able to get to that point where I can, maybe that's what I want to work towards. In a separate timeline. Like I've got so much things that I can do that I've found that I've liked in life that that stuff can really take up a lot of time and days and weeks and months. Because even selling stuff on Amazon, I could go do that after my kids are leaving, fill up their rooms full of stuff and just sell it out of the house, and that'd be so much easier. I could make thousands of dollars. Like, it's super easy. I was talking to this it was an Uber driver who drove me from Portland area back here, but I went through the whole rundown of telling this dude, start to finish of what from my perspective, my opinions, being able to go to Walmart or any other retail store or even secondhand store, buying stuff and selling on eBay and all these other apps. I listened to them, and then I went through Amazon and all of that. It's a lot of time, but after going through it and actually being able to be more fluent in it, dude, so much money to be made. Even now, even though there's a lot of restrictions, there's a lot of things that are against you, but I live in a small area and I can find stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna get going. It's time. Have a good night.